Honorable Men Discord. Let's talk about the horror on Frontier Airlines. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So before I go into the video, two things. One, I'm getting over a cold. If you haven't noticed that from my last episode on Kodak Black, I'm getting over a cold, but just work with me. Second one is I saw there was an update to the Kodak Black, so I just want to make reference to that. It seems he's been sober. He's been on a streak, so that was good news hearing that. I found that out after the fact while I was putting this together, and I know on yesterday's episode I spent a lot of time speaking on the fact that I was concerned about his well-being. So that's good to know that he's striving to continue to be sober. In addition to that, the song that I didn't play the audio for, it seems as though it had, real positive lyrics as far as like he's working on himself. So that's actually good news. That was a good conclusion to yesterday's episode. But with that being said, I'm going to get into this right now. And the reason why I decided to talk about this Frontier airline accident, I'm not even sure if it's an accident. I don't know anything about the person. I don't know if the person was intentionally trying to get hit by the plane. I don't know why the person even crossed over and walked right in front of the plane. But I just feel like we've been having way too many incidents with airplanes, which is really out of the norm. Now, this wasn't necessarily an airplane issue. It wasn't anything mechanical. It had nothing to do with the Frontier Airlines as a company, as an airline. But yet and still, it's still just yet another thing that has to do with a plane. I covered the end of Spirit Airlines, but there's been within the last few months, there's been just constant things involving the airlines. And I don't know what that means. I don't know why that is. But let's get into this first video. I have 4 things queued up. We're going to watch it, and then I'll talk about it further.
On the runway. We just hit somebody. We have an engine fire.
Frontier 4345, I see that. Frontier 4345, I'm going to be rolling the trucks now. Can you the souls on board and fuel remaining?
All right, 4345. We have 231 souls on board. We have 21,320 pounds of fuel on board. There was an individual walking across the runway. We've got smoke in the aircraft. We're going to evacuate on the runway. We're stopping on the runway. We just hit somebody. We have an engine fire.
Frontier 4345, I see that. Frontier 4345, I'm going to be rolling the trucks now. Can you the souls on board and fuel remaining?
All right, 4340.
All right, that just went through repeat. Let's get into the next one. This was a passenger describing the experience.
It's like boom, and then you see the flames come, and then the smoke comes, and it's just horrible.
Vanilla Ellis on board Frontier Flight 4345 from Denver headed to LAX, detailing a terrifying situation that unfolded Friday night.
We've got smoke in the aircraft. We're going to evacuate on the runway.
Denver Airport confirming a person was struck and killed by a plane during takeoff. They jumped the airport perimeter fence and crossed the runway. The person killed was consumed by at least one of the engines, igniting a massive engine fire. Smoke filling up the inside of the plane within seconds.
And I'm just waiting for the mask to come down, and they never come down. So everyone's having struggle. We're struggle breathing. We are panicking. Someone said they're going to punch the window open. People are recording. I'm just covering my mouth. I'm just trying to stay calm.
In a statement from Frontier, the airline saying we are investigating this incident and gathering more information in coordination with the airport and other safety authorities. We are deeply saddened by this event. Passengers and crew evacuated the plane by slides immediately. A handful taken to the hospital for injuries.
Had us go into lines when everyone got off the plane, and they went up and down and said, like, is anybody injured? Does anybody need to go to the hospital? Is anybody injured? And yeah, they checked in on us. They were doing the best they could.
Local law enforcement is investigating with support from the FAA and TSA.
It's like, boom.
Two things that stuck out to me is when that guy said that the oxygen didn't drop down. I wonder why that is. Maybe because it's not impact. I don't know why that is, but that wasn't good that he said that on the news. That's just my thought. That just doesn't look good for Frontier Airlines that the oxygen didn't drop down, especially when they were experiencing smoke from the accident. But I'm sure they're going to find a way to get their PR involved to clear that up, why the oxygen didn't drop. Because if he's saying that, other passengers are saying that. The second thing that stood out for me was that, what was it that he said? I just went blank. But it was the oxygen and it was something else. It'll come to me. I'm going to get to the next clip, but that's going to come to me. I completely lost it. This is another passenger.
It was probably like the scariest experience of my life. I look to my right and I just see like a fire, you know? I heard like a loud boom. People started screaming and stuff.
I got it. The second thing I was going to say was he said that there was a passenger that said they were going to try to punch the window. That would have never worked. That person would have broke their hands, because it's not like punching through a car glass or a windshield. Airplane glass is much thicker. I don't know how thick it is. I'd have to look that up, but there's no way you're punching through an airplane window. Just don't even think about it.
I thought I was going to die. You know, a lot of people next to me were screaming and crying. I just closed my eyes and I don't know. At that time, you don't really not really thinking of anything, you know? The engine caught on fire and I don't know. It's really hard to fly after that. Honestly, I think it was probably like the scariest experience of.
He looks traumatized. He looks like he was borderline about to cry. This video is from AP News, and this is actually inside the plane. One thing that we all know in this day and age is everyone's taking their phones out. Everyone's getting footage. You know, even I saw there was a clip. I don't know if it's from AP News or I saw it somewhere else, where someone who was, I guess, behind someone that was about to slide down had their phone out ready to film the ramp, to slide off of the plane. Then you had people that were actually standing near the portion of the plane that had gone on fire, which is what I have in the thumbnail, and they were curious to see what was going on. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's just human curiosity. I'll chalk it up to human curiosity, but I don't think those are the times to be pulling out your phone. That's just me. But with that being said, let's see what this is.
I need you all to move away from the aircraft.
A lot of these videos are real short clips. But listen, rest in peace to that person. I wonder if that person had some type of mental illness. Because even in the, I saw there was a video where they were walking slowly. They showed like the night vision of the person walking towards the airplane, and it was a casual walk. I want to find out more. I want to know if that person was an elderly person, maybe with dementia. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But rest in peace to that person. Condolences to their family members. I don't know what to make of this. Again, there's a lot of things going on with airplanes that I don't know what it means, what all this means. But what's your thoughts on all of this? I don't know. One of the things I will point out before concluding is I noticed in the comments for some of these videos, you can't see all the comments because of my the window that I have up, but the the lack of sympathy and the lack of maturity in some of these comments when it's serious matters is unbelievable. Believe me when I say there's a few people that jump in the comment section and they were finding jokes to make about this incident. They were saying things like, this would never have happened on Spirit Airlines, you know, things like that. It's like, I wonder the ages of the people that say certain things like that. It's so it's so insensitive to say something like that, you know. And I've seen in the past, outside of this report, that there was whenever you are near that portion of the plane when the propellers are going off, or the I think that's the right word to say, the propellers are in motion, you cannot stand in the front of it. It will literally suck you in. And the reason why I know that is because I remember coming across something where an employee wasn't paying attention, and they're taught not to stand in front of that portion of the plane when the motor goes on, when the engine goes on. And that employee was sucked in and was killed the same way this person. Well, this person was killed by walking in front of the plane, unfortunately, also right where that is. But this employee was standing not too far of it, and I guess she wasn't paying attention. I forgot what the situation was, and the employee got sucked into it. It'll lift you off your feet. That's how powerful that it is to be in front of that part of the engine. And this is why, you know, they make sure that that no one is entering the plane near that portion of the aircraft, particularly those airports that you see in other countries where you get off the plane or you enter the plane from outside. Not like how the terminals are here in New York and JFK, LaGuardia, where you go through the little tunnel and you're directly on the plane. When you go to other countries, particularly I want to say Tobago was like that, Jamaica was like that. Let me think, where else was like that? Colombia is definitely like that. Those airports, you actually board and exit the plane from outside. There's no tunnels, but at that point the engines are cut off. But I'm just saying that to say, you know, just be aware, God forbid, if, you know, the engine is running. I mean, they have staff outside also, but you just never want to be in the vicinity of when that engine is on. It will sweep you off your feet and suck you in there. But again, rest in peace to that person. That's all I have on this. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, stay honorable.